mute you all, and Lauren's going to manage the recording. But welcome to the Church of Infinite Spirit. I'm so excited to see you all today. We are a modern spiritual community where we hope you can come to be inspired, be connected, and be transformed. I am Reverend Allie Sweeney, and typically on the first Sunday of each month, we would be meeting in person. But look, through the powers of Zoom, we get to all connect here today regardless. I encourage you to play with the buttons in Zoom to make the images, the best experience for you. There's different options. We're going to keep everybody muted for this part of the service. It's a little easier to meditate and listen to the talk if there's not a lot of background noise. For those of you who are new to the Church of Infinite Spirit, our mission is to inspire spiritual freedom, that you might know yourself as a spirit in a body, and also as part of that all-one consciousness, the universe. So we hope to, today I'll be sharing what works for me. I hope that you will take what works for you and leave the rest. We are a non-dogmatic, non-judgmental space, and in sharing our truth, we hope to inspire you to find your own truth rather than, think you have to take ours. So we always like to start by just a short meditation. So I encourage you to decide at this point if you want to keep your video on or if you want to turn it off. Either is fine. And find that comfortable seat, because meditation happens best when you're comfortable. And then when you're ready, I invite you to close your eyes. And take a deep breath. And settling in to this moment. You might just notice what is here for you in this moment. Do a quick scan of what's happening. I'm pretty excited to be here. See what's happening for you. And then let's use some tools to create some change. So I want you to become aware of your spine and all the vertebrae in your spine, in your upper neck, your upper back, your middle back, your lower back, all the way to the very base of your spine. And I want you to, right at your tailbone, I want you to create a colored beam of light that comes from your tailbone. Just imagine it right at the base of your spine. It'll grow and extend through whatever you're sitting on, through the floor, the earth. Just let your imagination grow and extend that colored beam of light through the layers of the earth, through the bedrock, and all the way to the very center of the earth. Let it connect there. This connection from the base of your spine to the center of the earth is called a grounding cord. And its purpose is like a giant trash chute for any energy you don't need to be carrying right now. So any worry or stress or fear, frustration, whatever isn't serving your highest good has an opportunity to release. Right down that grounding cord. You can let yourself imagine that energy leaving. You can just intend that it's leaving. Whichever way you like it, let that energy go all the way to the center of the earth. Feel that invitation to let go. Your grounding cord's going to keep working for you. We're going to move on to the next step, which is to open your 6th chakra energy center. To do that, I want you to imagine placing your attention right in the center of your head, behind your eyes, between your ears. See if you can pull your attention there. It's easy for our attention to be scattered in so many different places and times. Bring your attention to the center of your head, and your 6th chakra will naturally open. This is your place of intuition, where you can see your path clearly, your desires. Feels like this calm place of wisdom becomes available to you. So with your attention here in the center of your head, let's manage that energy field around us called your aura. To do that, I want you to imagine yourself inside a large bubble, about an arm's distance in every direction. And give that bubble a color. And let it be an energetic boundary, that everything inside this bubble belongs to you and everything outside this bubble belongs to someone else or something else. It's also a gentle reminder that all you can control in this life is inside this bubble. Your actions, your reactions. Now I'd like you to think about a vibration you'd like to experience more of in your life. Joy, peace, love, inspiration, acceptance, vitality. Pick one. There's so many options. And then I want you to imagine that there's a huge golden ball above your head. Let it be really big. It's filled with your light. Looks like a big golden sun. And I want you to write the word for what you want to experience more of on the outside of that golden ball. So if you picked fun, F-U-N. And watch. Let that light absorb and become that vibration. Now imagine letting that light fill you from head to toe. So form a hole in the bottom of that golden ball. Let the light flow out and into the top of your head. Notice what it feels like as it flows and fills the tips of your ears, your chin. It'll keep flowing and flooding your throat, your shoulders, your arms, your elbows, your wrists, your fingers. Notice what it feels like as it fills your chest. All the amazing systems in your body, the front of your body, the back of your body, all those amazing organs, your ribs, your torso, to your hips, and your thighs and your knees, ankles and your toes. And there's so much light, it's gonna spill out the bottom of your feet. And it's gonna fill that whole aura bubble. Surrounding you with your light. Take a few deep breaths into this space. Noticing what it feels like to be you in this moment. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. You can stretch your bodies, move around a little bit. Excellent work. Welcome back to church. Such a lovely way to notice what is within us and what's going on in our bodies and in our lives. When I first started taking classes with the Interconnection Institute, and the Interconnection Institute is the education arm of the Church of Infinite Spirit. And when I first started taking classes there, a song used to play in my head a lot. And it was, "This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine." I'm sure you all know it. Sorry for my singing voice. But I remember driving to class and singing it in my car. I even bought a poster of it for myself. It just felt so good to go to class and remember this spark to really let my light shine. And with the meditations and exercises, I was finding my light. Of course, it was always there, right? It didn't leave, it didn't hide, but it was a bit dormant or maybe a little bit dim under the stuff of life, right? Some of the stuff of my fear or pain or perfection and judgment. And part of my journey in these classes was connecting with what was within me. I didn't know I was carrying all this stuff. Denial was a strong pattern in my family. And I absolutely remember early on in the classes, there were a lot of people in my class who were sharing about just the fear that they had in their lives and that kind of thing. And I absolutely remember saying something like, "Oh, I don't have much fear. That's not really my thing." I laugh about this now because I had a lot of fear in my life. I just didn't recognize it. And so it's just amazing to me. It's been, years and years and years since. And so I fast forward to last week when I had a healer suggest to me that I add a vibration of safe universe to my experience. And I thought, oh, yeah, that's a fear I've held since my childhood. And I am not safe. And so first, I had to know that I was carrying it so I could set it down, right? And to get connected with what was in me. And when I feel safe, my light shines a lot brighter. And that light is also one of those things within me. So these classes and meditation enabled me to notice this stuff I was carrying, but it also let me notice my light, to let it shine, to feel really good about myself. And to know that when you allow your light to shine, you can't hold all that stuff. It falls away. There simply isn't enough room for the pain and the judgment and whatever when your light is expanding. From this shiny space, I find it easier to hold the space for unity. When the interconnection happens and becomes real, it's easier to hold that interconnection, that unity. Now, you may have noticed some divisiveness in our world lately. And at least until the election in this country, that divisiveness will likely be amplified, right? They're doing this wrong. No, they're doing that wrong. You're bad. You're wrong. There's a lot of black and white, this or that, right or wrong. And always just two sides with no connection between them. Recently, as a family, we watched The Wizard of Oz with our kids for the first time. And as I watched it this time, I watched all the messages of light and dark and good and bad. There's Glenda, so, the good witch. She's all light and sparkle. And there's the bad witch, who's green and dark. Dorothy is praised and held up as a hero for murdering one of the wicked witches. So she's good, even though she's just killed someone. And I will always love the simple joy of this film. It truly is one of my favorites. But this time in watching it, it was really interesting to watch it from the broader perspective that we're not all good or all bad. And just like in the movie, there is a colorful spectrum, not just something as simple as black and white, just two sides with no connection. So today, I want to shine a light on this divisiveness, because in my truth, we are all connected. We are unity, and the light shines on all. And we are remembering ourselves as part of the universe. And each of us are essential parts in that all, in the whole. When we approach the world as if we are a part of it and not completely separate, we act differently. When we know we intimately belong, our hearts open. I used to work for a nonprofit that supported environmental education. And we were trying to help people understand that their actions had implications on the environment. And so one day we realized we also had to get people to understand that they were a part of the environment. It was like they were completely separate. And so we used this saying, the environment is where you live, right? To try to build that connection as humans, as part of the environment, part of the ecosystem, where all the parts are interconnected and affect each other. I like this idea of this earthly idea of an ecosystem for our spiritual journey. Just like you are a part of this ecosystem on Earth, you are a part of all there is in the universe. Imagine applying this idea, right? That you're an intrinsically involved part of the web of life, a vital part of the ecosystem, and can apply it to the universe. I can logically understand the ecosystems at play on Earth and how humans are a part of that system. And when I look at this idea of me being a part of the all one consciousness in the same way, I get it. I have a unique role to play, but I am a part of the larger whole. We are all a part of all there is. And your actions and inactions play into the whole. You have the power to create love and hold it in your space, even in the face of polar opposites, especially in the face of polar opposites. And it all starts with the self, your inner connection. This interconnection, this big picture to the whole starts with the inner connection, remembering your light, allowing myself to be as I am, allowing yourself to feel really good. Remember, you are lovable. You are amazing. You are worth loving, all of you, even the parts you don't like right now. Because resisting the parts that you judge right now keeps them right where they are. So remember that little light and let it shine. Allowing my light to shine, I got to admit, it feels good. And sometimes I think we get this light confused with being good. There's a difference between feeling good, something feeling right, and being good or being right. In case you are in a place like I was, where I wasn't really sure there was that much light within me, I invite you to notice. Love covers all. It's about allowing the transformation. Your trying to be good is not required. You don't have to be good to shine your light. I was confused by this idea of being good. I was trying to be Glenda, the good witch, on the outside when I felt like the wicked witch on the inside. I decided that there really wasn't that much good in there. So I wonder, when you're talking to yourself, is it with all the love you can muster? Or have you decided that there really isn't much to love there? I thought I had to be really good first to love myself. Love was that conditional for me. Yet, what I know now is the light shines on all and within all. It isn't about being good. It's about feeling good. I recently bought myself a new sign, and this one says, "You light up my life." And I giggle and I laugh and I smile every time I see it because I do light up my life. You don't have to work to turn on your light. It's there. You just get to notice how amazing you are. To find that inner connection to your light and let it shine. From this shiny place, we can look at the broader spiritual perspective. We are bearing witness to a colorful, complex picture of life. And knowing at your core that you chose to be incarnated at this moment of earth so that you could learn what is here for you. To encourage you to know that you are more than this body and this experience. To offer the opportunity to yourself to step out of the sides and into the whole. We get to be spiritual bodies in this time on earth. And as those who have chosen to spiritually experience these times, we get to witness the whole, to be a part of the unified light, the love for all and within all. We get to be a part of the light that shines on all. In these times, though, there's so much right, wrong, and good and bad. And part of this disconnection is judgment. And I've had lots of confusing moments in the past about how to actively participate and make choices that feel right to me without judgment. Recently, I heard Matt Kahn describe it this way. He said, "Judgment is making someone else wrong. Discernment is what feels right to me." When we judge others, when we make them wrong, we aren't coming from a place of feeling really good about ourselves. And that's what I'm asking for. Just let that light shine and feel really good about yourself. Brene Brown says it this way: we don't judge people when we feel good about ourselves. So to make someone else wrong, to judge someone else, we're also judging some part of ourselves. So just imagine for a moment all the judging of the self that's going on in the world right now. There is so much thrown at the other. And if that many people really don't feel good about themselves, imagine how much is being thrown back at the self. That's a lot of not feeling good about yourself. Feeling really good about yourself, loving yourself, allows that light to shine. A year or so ago, I went to something called a race to dinner experience. And at each race to dinner experience, a group of leaders of color invite a small group of white women to have dinner, to talk about race and to talk about white women's role in racism. It was not an easy dinner. As you can imagine, I received a lot of messages about institutional racism and the white woman's role. And I received an even bigger gift, because one of their main takeaways that they gave us that night was love yourselves. When you truly love yourself, then you can love all of us. So love yourself. Allow your light get full from this space. It's so much harder to make yourself or someone else wrong. Consider finding the inner connection to your light. And when we are all anchored to the light, love will rise. Those of us seeking the expanded spiritual perspective have the opportunity to hold the space for all. We can hold the space of love and empathy and healing and acceptance, even when the other side is not something that feels right to me. We can thrive in that inner connection as we can expand the idea of love from just loving those who agree with our current perspective to, as Angel Kyoto Williams says it, she says, love as a space to allow others to be as they are. This is the gift of the spiritual perspective. Our purpose is larger than the individual sides. I have a friend on Facebook, and for those of you who don't really use this app, you can have friends on Facebook that aren't really friends, right? And I love to see what this friend posts, because her views are so wildly different than mine. And I find it fascinating that we are alive in the same time, in the same country, on the same planet. And she regularly posts about issues into this side, or that side, the right side or the wrong side, the side that agrees with her and the side that doesn't. And I often don't agree with her. And I often feel like I'm on the other side. And I learned from this friend about this idea that love can be expanded as a space to allow others to be as they are, from the limited space of just those who agree with you. For a moment, I want you to think of someone you generally disagree with. And I invite you to play with the idea, to expand the place of love, to allow them to be as they are. And as you've got that idea with you, I'll tell you about my last interaction with this Facebook friend. To set the context a little bit, this friend and I have very gentle exchanges, especially compared to some of the other stuff I've seen in Facebook world. But we were writing about the fires in the West, and she wrote that she was sending love, knowing that our lives were impacted by the fires. And my instinct was, no, I don't want your love. I decided she was wrong. And I pushed away her love through my judgment of her views. And I caught myself. And I thought, how interesting that I could push away love. And that curiousness, that pause, it allowed me to open to the idea, to have her love settle around me. This expanded view of love as a place to allow others to be as they are. As I crafted my response to her on the subject, I could also willingly, genuinely, not because I felt like I should or because I needed to be good, but because I finally realized that I could hold the space of love for her. I invite you to decide what feels right for you and to step out of the divisiveness and into love and unity. I want to live in a world where love is visible, where it's in everyone, everywhere, where we hate less, we discern more, and we love more. In our meditation earlier today, We used an aura bubble as a reminder of all that we could control was inside this bubble. You can control how you choose to show up. So will you choose judgment, where anyone who disagrees with you is wrong? Or will you choose the type of expanded love that allows others to be as they are, even as you choose what feels right for you? These next few weeks will give us lots of opportunities to practice. What do you want in your space? Unity? Unlimited possibilities? Hate? Wrong? Feeling good about yourself and connecting with your light regularly is within your control. There's another gift of the expanded spiritual perspective and allowing ourselves the opportunity to connect with our individual light while also being a part of that universal light. We allow ourselves a break from the divisiveness. The stuff has to fall away when the light is expanding. There simply isn't room to hold it all. And that is a blessing in our lives right now. We have this expanded view, and it's really helpful in chaotic times. You can trust in a safe universe. You can hold the light and the love in the midst of chaos and darkness. We all can. You can decide what is for you and not for you from this expanded space without having to make anyone else right or wrong and add to the divisiveness. You can hold the space of expanded love that allows everyone to be as they are. And because we are all practicing, we may fall into our patterns. I'm likely still try to control a few things that are out of my control. And then you can love yourself. Because this work, as expanded as it is, starts within. And from that inner connection, knowing that I'm a part of something bigger, that I am not alone in all this, it helps me feel better. Having that expanded perspective that we are never truly alone is comforting. When we know we intimately belong, our hearts open. Being able to trust in a safe universe allows my light to shine brighter. And so I'm grateful for all of you for being a part of that universe with me, shining your light so it can be even brighter. Your light adds to the light of the universe, and for that, I am grateful. So love yourself. If it feels right to you, love your neighbor. Anchor that light within you and that love, reminding yourself that discernment is not judgment. And for me, active participation feels right in these times. You have choices, and I encourage you to actively choose whatever feels right for you. Let's take a few moments in meditation to just explore this inner and interconnection together. I invite you to get settled in your seat one more time. Keep your video on or turn it off, whatever you like. And when you're ready, close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Maybe notice that grounding cord and let it fall to the center of the earth and create a new one. Let there be a colored beam of light that connects to the base of your spine. If you had a tail, right where a tail would be. And let it grow and extend all the way to the very center of the earth. And feel the invitation to let go of anything that you're ready to set down. Connect with that center of head place one more time, that sixth chakra. Bring your attention behind your eyes, between your ears. And if you like, you could put your hand over your heart. You can feel the space of love in your heart. Feel really good about yourself. Connect to your light. Maybe it's a space in your heart. Maybe it's a tingle in your fingertips. Allow your light to shine. Let it get even brighter. If it feels right to you, let it get even bigger. Let it spread to your fingertips, your toes, the top of your head, everywhere. And imagine just loving yourself from head to toe, all of you, even the messy parts. And just love it. Notice that light within is a part of the all one consciousness, that light that connects us all. Notice that light, that field that we are all a part of. Allow the light that covers all to also cover you. Imagine your connection to this light from the universe. You are a part of it. And we are all interconnected as one. And from this space, notice how you want to show up in your life. And imagine that golden sun above your head, that big golden ball. And pick a vibration that will help you show up that way in your life. Is it self-love, peace, courage, inner connection, unity, interconnection? Pick one. Write that word on the outside of that golden sun and let it become that vibration. Form a hole in the bottom of that sun and let that light pour into the top of your head. Let it fill every single cell and all the spaces in between the cells in your entire body. It'll keep flowing through your neck and your shoulders. Notice it flood your arms to your fingertips. Let it fill that heart space, your abdomen and your back. Through your hips. Your knees, your ankles, and your toes. Let it spill out the bottom of your feet and fill that hole or a bubble. Let it surround you. Consider feeling really good about yourself. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. You can stretch your body. Yay, you're all looking so bright. I love it. Thank you so much for your time and attention here today. If we were in person, this is when we would have our offertory and we would start to pass some baskets. So know that we have a website. I'm going to put it in the chat, and you could go to the website if it feels right to you and make a donation. We would greatly appreciate your support of our mission for spiritual freedom. We also have several classes coming up that you can check out on the main website. There's a gratitude class starting on Wednesdays in October. I think October 21st is the first day. It's 10 to 12 Mountain Time. And then we are also, the Interconnection Institute is trying to expand their online opportunities. And so they also have a year-end fundraiser going. You can check that out. There's some benefits to giving at higher levels. And we hope that you will all join us for the next mid-month service, which is going to be on October 16th at noon with Lauren Skye officiating. So I really am so grateful to you all for coming today and being a part of this light and this bigger journey than this body and this earth. I found this wonderful quote I just wanted to end with, and it's by I'm probably going to slaughter his name, Yogi Bhajan, and he says, or she says, travel light, live light, spread light, and be the light. So I hope you have a wonderful light-filled month. For those of you who want to stick around and chat a little bit, that's kind of like the coffee hour that we usually would have done in person, you are welcome to. Otherwise, this is a great time to sign off and say goodbye, and just know I'm really grateful for you all. Thank you.